Rob Robinson. And at forward for Moline is 6'5" and senior, number 50, Justin Ward. At center for West is 6'7" and senior, number 55, Chris Scannell. And at center for Moline is 6'6" and senior, number 44, Travis Hoyt. West is coached by Dave Russell. Moline is coached by Frank Dexter, assisted by Darren Lindau. Officials for tonight's game are Don Unlin, Paul Mitchell, and Sergio Villarreal.
I bet he's been with them over 20 years. How's that ice cream?
Kevin Moses at the line, shooting 2. Foul call on Kevin Moses, Chris Lagana shooting 1.
You would think that Hoyt would be under the basket, rebound. Wouldn't you?
Official timeout.
He's a lad. 6'8".
to Hickey. Hickey back to Scannell as they try to make it over the timeline, and they do rather easily. Scannell lit him up the past couple of games, and looking back over to Hickey, he had a great game that I saw in a tournament a couple of weeks ago, so I look forward to him having a good game here tonight as well. Scannell with his first three-point try, and it's no good, a little bit hard, but comes right back out to him. And he had the overshot. Hickey will try a three-pointer. No, that one's no good, but inside, Hoyt inside, and he'll put it up in the end. 4-2 now in favor of the Maroons. And guess what? Brian Nagel is stepping right on the sideline, the turquoise part, and that's kind of easy to see there. So a turnover for the Falcons, back to the Maroons. Scannell with the ball, and he'll move it in to the front court, up to back to Scannell for a three, and it's in. Well, I guess they're gonna call it a three. I thought at first you were only gonna call it a two, but it looked definitely like a three to me, and they move out to a 7-2 lead over the Falcons. And they're being hounded there as there's, well, talk about a triple team. And a timeout call, smart play by the Falcons player. And we'll take a short 30-second break and be back with you.
11-11 charged by
In 5, 4, and we're back as Brian Nagel brings the ball over the timeline and tries to set up the play. He is the point guard for the Falcons. He'll shovel it over to Moses, and Moses loses the handle for a moment but picks it back up, and he gives it off to Arguello. Arguello back to Moses with a big three-point try, in and out, and rebounded there by Ward, but it's picked off by Arguello. Arguello, oh, that's blocked by Ward. But back to Arguello, and he'll drive it again, but can't get her done. And Hickey picks up this one now, and now he'll try to bring her up to the front court. So a lot of action going on, but no points were scored as Hickey palms the ball, and that'll turn it back over to the Falcons. I wish Coach Sanders was with here right now. We could discuss what palming the ball is. I kind of know what it is, but I don't know the exact officials wording that it would be for it. Anyways, he did palm it, and here with a nice drive up and in is Arguello. Alex Arguello. Arguello with, I think he has already 4 points, if I'm not mistaken. It goes to Scannell now up at the top of the point, and he goes over to Hickey. Hickey inside, nice forward, up and in. Well, a little trouble getting over the timeline finally. Well, it's going to be picked off there by the Maroons as Scannell gets it to Hickey. Hickey over to Ward, and Ward, well, it looks like he got a hand out by one of the Falcon players. Taps it out of bounds, but they'll retain the ball here at the 4:05 mark of the first period. Moline leading it 9-4. Still very early. Kind of in and out of the hands of Hoyt, and Hoyt loses it back to the Falcons. I don't think he quite was ready for that ball to come on an inbound and loses the handle. So Scoville gets it in, but having a little bit trouble to Robinson. Robinson with a little problem there, but Nagel gets it, and he gets it over to Arguello. Arguello into Nagel, and back to Nagel, and he'll skip pass it over to Moses, and now they settle it down a little bit into the hands of Arguello. And he'll hand it off to Moses. So Moses looks for a shot. He hands it over to Robinson. And decided, well, he moved to the inside, thought an open shot, thought he saw one. Arguello, of course, was a quarterback for the Falcons, and probably does a pretty good job at the point as well as that ball is kicked out of the bounce. It should remain to the Falcons. 3:19 left in this first period as Arguello will move it in. I don't know how it got through everybody's hands. Big, long three-point try by Kevin Moses. That's no good. Picked up by Arguello, but it looks like he might have stepped on the out-of-bounds line, and so it's going to go over to the Maroons. Eric Boster comes in for first time. And number 25 for Davenport is Nate Kelling coming into the game as well. And quickly, Boster thought about a shot, gets it back over to Scannell with a big three, no good, in the hands of Ward, and it comes to one of the Falcons, and I think he's going to be probably a touch foul by Ward. And sometimes those fouls just don't make the coaches very happy, but well, when you're out there, it's a little bit easier to sit back here and say, oh, you shouldn't have done that. But hey, when you're out there playing, you think you saw a way to get that ball away from the player, and sometimes you just hit them where you aren't supposed to. As again, they got to get over the timeline, and finally Nagel does. As they work it around with Nate Kelling, or Keeling, I guess it could be. With the ball now, he looks to the inside for Robinson, but it's going to be tapped away from Scannell. Scannell with the steal, gives it quickly over to Nagel, but he loses the ball to, well, one of the Falcons. Now we got a tie-up right at the top of the key, and the possession arrow points to the Falcons. So Davenport West Falcons will get the ball back. And good hustling by those players on both sides. And I got to tell you, for being my first time being here at this tournament, all the players have just out-hustled themselves all day long, all 5 games. And it's really been a pleasure to watch all these games. And this one's going to be a good one as well, as we can certainly see. Back out to Nagel. Nagel over to, well, and it's just going to be kicked out of bounds by Kelling. And let's see, are they going to retain the ball? Or is it going to go back to the Maroons? I guess the Falcons will keep it, so West still can score here. The score right now, Moline 9 over the Falcons with 4. Nagel with the ball quickly over to Keeling, and 3-second called, and that'll be a turnover, goes back to the Maroons. Well, Boster will bring it in. Boster over to Scannell, back to Boster as he brings it over the timeline. Scannell over to Hickey, and Hickey looked to make sure he was on the court where he was supposed to be. He'll give it over to Boster. Boster looks for Hickey over here for the 3-point try, no good. But Scannell gets the rebound, works it inside to Hickey, couldn't get it to fall, and now, well, we're going to have a charge foul. No, not a charge foul, a blocking foul by Justin Ward, it looks like.
Technical foul call on number 55, Chris Scannell, West.
And a technical is being called by Chris Scoville, number 55, so I didn't see what happened there. Apparently, some words were exchanged and a T is called. So, first one we've seen today, and something that I'm sure that Coach Wessel is not going to be very happy with. So going to the line will be Scannell. Ryan Scannell, 6-foot guard. Shooting 2. And with a technical shot, no players are allowed around the shooter. They have to be at the half court. And so he makes the first of 2, extending the lead 10-4 now, 6 points. As Scoville goes to the bench to sit down to cool down, I think, as the coach going to try to calm him down a little bit. And maybe being pushed around, the calls aren't coming his way, and sometimes you say things you wish you wouldn't have said, and apparently that's exactly what happened over there. Makes the second one, and it'll also be the Maroons' ball side out as well. So this can turn into a 2-4 or even a 5-point play. Boster with the ball back over to Hickey. Hickey looks for the 3-pointer, doesn't see it, but into Scannell with about an 8-footer. Oh, up and in, oh, out. And inside it was, again, it's Hickey getting hammered. And we're going to have a jump ball. Oh, wow, that was something else. As Hoyt tried a shot, he got that block, came out in and out, and Hickey got it again. And be side out to the Maroons, however, so it stays on their side. Boster this time looks for an open man, and he does get it in to Ward. Ward goes back to Scannell. Scannell now goes back to the point, tries to set up another play. It goes over to Ward. White to Hoyt to Scannell from about 12 feet. It's not going to be any good. Didn't quite square up his shoulders that time, and the ball went off to the left as here comes Robinson. And he kind of did a hop skitch there, and it looks like a foul will be called on Scannell. Indeed it was on Scannell with his first and the fourth team foul here at the 1-on-1 mark of the first quarter. Score right now 11-4 in favor of the Maroons. First one in and out for Robin, so they just can't get the ball to drop so far for the Falcons. As back come in Moses, and out goes 25 Nate Killing. Or Keeling, I will try to find out hopefully what the correct pronunciation is. And that one's no good as well, and picked by Hickey, and he kind of trips a little bit, and everybody got a big old scrum going on here. Now we got, I think it's going to be Boster with a foul on Nagel. The 2 5s get together, and it will be on Boster.
Foul on Moline, number 5, Eric Boster, his second. Moline's 15th foul.
And it comes in to Nagel. Nagel bringing it over the timeline, try to set it up, calling a play, goes over to Robinson. Back out to Moses. Moses over to Hammond as he's in for the first time. A long pass into Robinson, too short, and the Moline Maroons pick it off. Quickly down court comes into Hoyt. Hoyt misses it, and it'll be rebounded by Arguello. Arguello moves inside with a kind of a hard, tough shot. Might have thought twice about that one. Now we got down on the floor again, and it's going to go over to the Maroons again. And tempers are flaring a little bit in this one, so maybe coach should call a timeout, get these guys settled down just a little bit. We had a couple flare-ups already. First time we've seen it all day long, and indeed, Hoyt's going to take a seat on the bench, settle him down a little bit, and come in to replace him. Is going to be Laguala. So Scannell looking for the last shot over to Lagala inside. It's going to be Ward with a hooker. Doesn't make it, but it's going to be, oh boy, nice shot by Lagala. Or it's going to be Boster with the last shot, and no good by the Falcons attempt. So end of the first quarter, Moline Maroons 13, the Davenport West Falcons 4. And we'll be back for the start of the second quarter.
Ball 326, 11-11 to charge by phone.
We get set to go in 5. Well, we're back. Well, one of the coaches has a question, that being Dan Wessel, asking a question. We're not quite at the start of the second period, but we should be underway rather shortly as both teams are fighting it out and getting ready to go. Hopefully tempers are going to cool down a little bit here as it got a little bit rough there towards the end, but I think the coaches will settle them down. David Burke into the game for the first time, number 32 for the Maroons, as Hickey takes a breather, along with Hoyt on the bench as well. Well, apparently we're discussing something else. We'll take another break and be back with you. As we get set to go once again, they got the discussion. I don't know what it was about, but apparently it's over. And we're underway here again. Brian Nagel with the ball as he works around to the left side, over to Robinson at the top of the key. He'll get it back over to Moses. Moses over to Arguello. Arguello back to Nagel as he tries to open for an opening down low, and it's into the number 55 Scoville, but he misses it. And the Maroons bring it down court in a hurry. Boster with a high shot, just a little bit short. And he'll get it again. He'll try another one. So he's not afraid to put it up there. A lot of guys jumping up and down. It's going to be number 50, Ward, but he's not going to bring it down. Robinson brings down quickly up as Arguello. And he almost loses the handle, gets back to it, gives it out to Robinson. Robinson inside, but he's going to lose it to Lagala, and he palms the ball and turnover back to the Falcons. So it's been pretty fast going here. The score doesn't really show the aggressive play that's been going on. Another whistle called here, and looks like we might have a foul on David Burke, it looks like. We'll check that. It'll be on Justin Ward. And the ball comes way out to Nagel here at the top of the key. He switches it over to Arguello. Arguello drives in deep. Sits back a little bit up and in. So nice shot by Alex Arguello. Boster with the ball and takes his time now getting it over the timeline. No pressure on him at all. Looks for Burke, but didn't find him there. Back out to Boster, over to Scannell. Scannell from three-point land, no good. Scoville comes down with it, the big 6'7" senior center. And he gets the ball again, and actually had good hands there. I think that ball was thrown away. Nagel with the ball, out of control, and loses the ball over to Ward. Or Burke, I should say. Burke with about an 8-footer, no good. But brought down from Scannell. Scannell over to Boster as they move it around back inside to Lagala. Lagala up and in, and he's hacked on the way up. So Chris Lagala gets it in, and that is point number 4 for him here in this first half at 6:09 left in the second quarter. 15-6, Moline leading it. Lagala goes to the line. 6'7", Chris Lagala. Hickey comes back in, replacing Justin Ward. As Lagala tries to get the three-pointer complete. Nice form, beautiful shot. Goes nothing but nylon on that one. And so now 16-6, 10-point lead for the Maroons. As so far they've had their way in this one as it comes into quickly Robinson in the paint and in and out. So they just can't buy a basket right now. Moses with the shot. It should be shot by Nagel. Nagel no good. Comes down to Burke. Burke quickly up to Scannell. He skip passes into Boster, but he's going to be up but hacked there. And he'll be going to line shooting 2. And that was a foul on Nagel. And that's his first foul of the game. Nobody really in serious foul problems right now, as Moses has 2 fouls along with Scoville has 2 for the Falcons on the Moline side. Only person really, Boster, has 2 fouls. He picked those up rather quickly, and otherwise nobody else in any serious foul trouble at all. Well, Nagel goes out along with Moses and Scoville. Coming in for them are Karstens, number 53. And we'll try to get the other ones there. Keeling, I guess K-E-L-L-I-N-G. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, you can just call me up and let me know. But we'll try to hopefully find it out at halftime how to pronounce that one. It is Arguello. He skip pass it over. Long skip pass. Long shot by Hammond, and Hammond misses it. And inside we got a foul called again. Looks like Scannell might have picked up a foul on the inside. And so going to the line is Robinson, number 43, with 5:26 left here to go in the second period. 17-6 in favor of the Maroons. Rob Robinson, 6'3", plays a lot taller than 6'3", at least in my opinion he does. He's very active all over the court and down in there with the land of the Giants. Hammond goes out, and Second one no good as well, so Scannell brings it up over the court, over to Boster, back to Hickey, and Hickey's going to be walked with the ball, kind of dragged that left foot a little bit before he got rid of the pass, and they'll call him every single time. As Scoville comes back into the game, and coming out is Kevin Karstens, number 53. Well, Guello and Boster over to Scannell. Nice easy two for Scannell. Nice pass from Boster to Scannell on that one. They now extend their lead 19-6, the largest lead of the game, 13 points. As it comes over to Killing, Nate Killing, number 25, then it's Arguello, number 21, and he's going to charge on Scannell, so another turnover and another foul for Arguello. 4:51 left here in the second period as Moline has stretched it out over the Maroons. So Arguello with another foul. Scannell gets the ball back over to Boster. He'll be met by Brian Nagel as he comes over the timeline. Scannell skips it back over to Boster. Boster back over to Scannell. They'll go over to Hickey. Hickey skip past it back to Scannell. Scannell will try a big, about a 15-footer, but it's in and out. A little bit strong on that one and comes down to Moses. Moses over to Nagel. Nagel bringing it over the timeline, setting up the play. As he calls out, drives out down deep into the big guy, Chris Scoville, number 55, and picks up his first 2 points of the game. That's kind of hard to believe almost. Scannell now with the ball. And it's over to Boster. Boster looking around, setting up a play. And the coach yelling at him to look inside. I think the guard kind of just like throwing it all the time. Hickey with a big three is going to be short and picked up by Scoville with the rebound. Back over to Nagel. Nagel down. Brings it up court, looks around inside where the big guys are. Doesn't see anybody open there. Over to Moses. Moses skips it around back out to Scoville. Scoville will give it to, well, we thought he was going to give it to Nagel. He's now driving in on Lagala, but he's going to be hacked there and he'll go to the line. So Lagala has 2 fouls on him, 5 points, but he does foul, and we got a 30-second timeout. We'll take a short break as well.
Stay ahead of your company.
In 5, 4. Well, we're back once again. On the line is big Chris Scoville, 6'7", senior center. Shooting the first of 2. He's got that guard on his nose, so apparently he might have broken a nose here a little bit earlier in the season. Makes the first one. And they finally get off that 8-point mark. And they've been there a whole long time to move it into within 10 points. Can he move it into single digits? No, he can as the ball skips away. Lagala gets the ball. He'll give it over to Scannell. Scannell to Boster, and Boster will bring it over the timeline. Over to Scannell once again, and that'll go into Hoyt. Hoyt back into the game, over to Boster, over to Hickey. Back out to Boster as they're working it very quickly. Scannell's had an open shot, but he decided not to take it inside to Lagala. Lagala, no good, and Hoyt over the back of Robinson, but they didn't call him. Robinson now moving down quickly. He might have got away with cupping the ball there, and but sees nothing over it, and that's going to be a foul on Hoyt, and kind of a silly one too as he comes around the backside. But well, you try to punch that ball out of the way, and you're going to get called probably every time for that, though. When you do that, even if you don't hit them or not, they see you swiping at the ball from the backside, and they're going to call it. Well, Lagala goes out. And looks like Matt Chenoweth coming into the ball game for the first time, so he's getting some playing time. Well, Boster over to Scannell, back to Boster, inside to Hoyt, over to Hickey. Hickey back to Boster, and they work it around a little bit again, trying to get that nice inside shot as it comes into Hoyt. He works it. Oh, beautiful move by Hoyt as he gave a fake to Scovell. Scovell couldn't hang with him, and a nice 2 for Hoyt. Scovell with the ball. He gives it over to Nagel, and they get it across that all-important 10-second line. And now working in Robinson down in the corner, back over to Scovell up at the point. He's into the paint. He does a spin move himself, up and in. So nice move, a return trip, as they would say. Both big men with good moves, picking up 2 points each. Score 21-11 as Hoyt with the ball over to Chenoweth. Chenoweth gets it out to Scannell. Scannell to Hickey. Hickey skip passes to Boster, tries a big 3, in and out. And oh, are we going to have a foul on Nagel? Oh my. And that'll be 3 shots, it looks like. He's with a 3-shot try, so he'll be going to the line for 3. So that should be 3 of them. And that's the ultimate no-no. Coaches just hate seeing that foul called when you're way out there in 3-point land. So Boster will be shooting 3. Eric Boster makes the first one, has 2 more to go. 1:54 left here in the first half. Second one is up, but he misses it. Well, I might be mistaken on that 3-point shot. I guess maybe they don't get 3. As they get it over the timeline, work inside. Well, no foul call, but boy, bodies are flying down on the floor, and Maroons come away with it. Quickly out to Boster, and he's going to be hounded there, tries to get it inside, but it'll go back over to the Falcons. So a lot of hot action, just not a whole lot going on that play there. But bringing it in now is Bruss, Derek Bruss, so that's the first time for him in the game. As that goes over to Arguello. Arguello is double teamed there, but wide open, all by his lonesome, is Tim Hammond for the easy 2. Well, they're so busy triple teaming that they forgot about that open guy. Scannell over the timeline. Over to Boster. Hickey with the ball now, looking down deep, back up to Boster at top of the key. And he'll go over to Scannell, back to Boster. Hickey is wide open over there on the right side. Boster drives in, gives Hickey the nice open shot, but he's a little bit short. Hoyt had the ball for a moment, lost it, goes out to the Falcons. So Scovell comes back in as Bruce goes out of the game. And another substitution comes in as Christian Finch comes in. And Chris Hickey will go out and take a breather. And it looks like Trent Anderson as well comes into the game for the Maroons. So everybody getting a little bit of shot of it here towards the end of the first half as Robinson was in trouble, tries to shoot it off of one of the defenders, and he does, so it remains Falcons ball. Arguello will bring it in, and with the ball right now is Hammond. Hammond will try it about 15 feet, doesn't make it. Inside, Robinson comes up with it, but he misses a shot. So nobody can just seem to get it down, and coming away with it now for the Maroons is Scannell, as he gives it over to Anderson, it looks like. And Scannell now with the ball. He flips it over to Chenoweth, inside to Hoyt, out to number 4. Ooh, Finch tries it, but it didn't go in. And it'll be Falcons ball. Well, 0.2 seconds left here in this first half, so they can try one long big pass, or most likely that's going to be it here for the first half, with the Maroons leading at 22-13 over the Falcons. And the ball comes in, and that's the buzzer. And that ends the first half. It is the Moline Maroons 22, the Davenport West Falcons 13. And we'll be back for the start of the second half. In 5, Jeff. As we get set to go here for the second half, welcome back to it. As it goes over to the Maroons, Scannell with the ball over to Hickey, back over to Scannell. Just getting underway here in case you just tuned in, and Hickey's going to try a drive in the inside. Nice, pretty shot up and in. So they extend their lead to 24-13, 11-point lead. As they try to work it across, Robinson, nice and wide open down below. Oh yeah, Moses with a very easy one. Kevin Moses. So 24-15 in favor of the Maroons. And I thought for a while it might just be a complete blowout, as the Falcons were kind of stumbling there, but then they got their going pretty good, and Scannell with a short shot misses. Hoyt on the inside, up, and it'll go back in. So Travis Hoyt with another 2. And Scoville tries to get over the timeline, doesn't quite get it done. Nagel just gets it over before the 10 comes down. Arguello with the ball inside to Robinson. Robinson up to Moses. Moses with a nice little lay-in. And it's now 26-17. 26-17 in favor of the Maroons. Well, the 5-game extravaganza here at the mark of the Quad City's been good all day long. And with that, we got a turnover, it looks like, as the coach is yelling at their players just a little bit. So go over to the Maroons. And it'll be Ward will be trying to inbound. He looks around for something way out to the top of the key to Hickey. Hickey back over to Burke. Burke to Ward. Ward over to Hickey. And he sees nothing open, so he looks around and he'll find Scannell up at top of the point. Burke with a shot from about 15. No good. It's still hammering around, comes back to the Maroons again, so they're playing tough on the inside. Hickey with the ball again, over to Hoyt. Hoyt back out to Scannell now as a reset of play, and he tries to direct his fellow players, and back over to Scannell at the top of the point. He's looking over to Burke. Burke over here on the right side. Skip pass it over to Hickey. A long pass over there, but nothing doing. Scannell gets it again. He'll be hounded a little bit there by one of the Falcons, and then it'll come over to Scannell, but he sees nothing over. So they are taking their time trying to get that good shot into Hoyt, and almost had it in there, but couldn't quite get it in. And the ball goes out, and side out to, looks like it's going to come out to the Falcons. So Nagel gets the ball back over to big number 55, Scoville, back to Nagel. Nagel brings it over the timeline, and he should be able to dribble one of the big guys. Robinson inside into Moses. Moses blocked, but it looks like he might have got an arm on him. It looked pretty good to me, but we're not quite right there, and a lot better view by the official. So going to the line is going to be Moses as Dan Burke picks up the foul. And the first one goes up and in. So Kevin Moses makes the first of 2. Second one underway, and that one's good as well. Score down 26-19. They have cut it down to 7 points. as close as they've been in a long time for the Falcons. As Hickey with the ball, throws over to Burke, back out to Hickey. He looks for Scannell, and Scannell over here on the right side. Now looking for Hoyt, and it's going to be picked off by Moses, but he drops it on the out of bounds line. And nice hustle by Moses, but it does go out of bounds and back over to the Maroons. Scannell, well, it's picked off and comes out to Arguello, and he loses the ball to Scannell. Scannell quickly back down court. He's looking for one of his forward, and oh, nice slippery and very easy 2 points for Ward. A nice pass by Ryan Scannell. So Nagel with the ball once again for the Falcons. Just when they were starting to make some headway into that deficit, they make a mistake, and looks like they're going to make a mistake again, and he travels. So Arguello with a mistake there. Well, he kind of got pinched in, and nobody came over to help him out, and that's what happens. Of course, sometimes I think you find yourself watching what's going on without moving around, and that's tough to do, keep moving around without being out of position. As it comes over to Hickey, down to Burke. Burke will try about a 15-footer. It's going to be short, but picked off by Hickey with a nice rebound. Back out to Scannell. Hickey again with the ball. Burke looks back to Hickey, over to Scannell as they work it around, trying to find the open man. Ward with the ball. He passes it over here to Hickey. He drives to the paint. He'll put it up, and it softly goes in. So nice shot by Chris Hickey. Extends the lead now 30-19 with 11-point lead as Robinson with the ball, and he loses it off of his knee. And Scannell now with Arguello all over him, but to no avail as comes out to Ward with a long shot into Burke. Burke on the inside doesn't get it. Up with Hoyt and the inside and gets it. So a tough shot for Hoyt, but he puts her up and in the big guy. Well, Scoville trying to get it over that timeline over to Nagel. Nagel gets it over with no problem, and he'll start working on a play. Oh, a nice spin move by him. Gets it over into Moses. Moses in with the land of the Giants. He'll just try it again, but it's blocked away. Hickey with the block. Comes down with it and gets it over to Scannell. Scannell up over the timeline rather quickly. And now tries to get inside to Hoyt again. And oh, let's see what happens. I guess they're going to call a foul, but it could have been pretty close to just being a nice block shot by Moses, but he'll be called for the foul.
His third. Travis Hoyt shooting 2.
So I guess they're going to call it a shooting foul. Well, with that, we're going to have a 30-second timeout, and we'll take a 30-second one as well. Anytime, Jess, we can come back on. As we get set to go once again here with 2:55 left in the third period. Hoyt at the line shooting 2. First one up and just a little bit short off to the side of the rim and no good. Second one on its way. That's going to be short as well. And it's going to come out and Scannell will get it. So they'll try it all over again as he gets it down to Ward. And Boster now with the ball. Back over to Scannell, and he was not in the game here at the start of the second half, but he is now. Skip passes it over to Burke. Burke up and in, and I think it was tipped in by Ward. Oh boy. Second and third efforts there, and they are going to give it to Ward. I thought I saw his hand on the ball as the big guy got in there. As Scoville skips it over to Hammond. Hammond to Nagel. Is the Falcons trying to figure out what they can do to get some points on the board. Into Scoville inside. He'll try to get up, but it's blocked by Hoyt. Robinson with the rebound puts it up and in. Now 34-21 in favor of the Maroons as Ward gets it. He skips it over to Boster. Boster back to Scannell. And Chris Hickey must have taken a breather. I didn't even see who when he went out. I guess he was replaced by Boster. Over to Ward. Ward looking for an open man. Tries to get it to the inside to Hoyt, but stolen by Nagel. He'll bring it down. Says, no, too many tall guys down in there. I'll decide against that. Comes back out to him. Hammond with the ball briefly. Back to Nagel. And Nagel will bring it over to the left side here, looking for an open man. Arguello looks to shoot. Doesn't see anything. Back to Nagel. He'll give it over to Scoville. And he'll give it quickly over to Arguello. Arguello looks over to Robinson. Robinson now looking for the open shot or looking for the open man. One of the two. He skips it over to Scoville. Scoville looks inside. Oh, he had an open man there in Nagel. Even though he's not the tallest, he had a nice open shot. Arguello with the ball now. He does a spin pass, but he's going to be, Hoyt's going to be there to intercept it, and it comes out to Boster. Boster now skips it over to Burke. Burke up and in. So just not much they could do there as the Falcons spent way too much time trying to get in the inside. They just got to kind of get the ball up in the air a little bit here to get some confidence back into them. I think they're losing a little bit of that. Nobody wants to take the shot. Now Robinson says, well, I think we'll change that. Scoville with the free shot. Oh, nice give and go there by Robinson to Scoville. Well, Boster brings it up along with Scannell, and 17 seconds left here in the third period. Boster back out to Scannell as he waits to try to get the last shot. He gives it over to Boster. Boster over to Burke. Burke tries to get inside to Ward. Ward tries to over the shoulder to Hoyt. Up and in with 3.2 seconds left. Scoville's got to be quick. A long pass, but it's not going to be in time. So the end of the third quarter, it is the Moline Maroons 38. Davenport Wells Falcons 23, and we'll be back for the start of the final quarter and the final period here at the Illinois-Iowa shootout. As we get set to go here for the last 7:59 of the fourth period. Hansen in there now, first time of the day, number 13. And double dribble there on the West player, that being Killing. So another turnover, and very costly here with only the last period to go, 7:49 left in this ball game. And I tell you, this has been a lot of ball games in one day, 5 of them. Of course, you folks are seeing it all different nights, so you're not seeing how long this has actually been for me, but we've had a lot of fun. Skip pass back over to Boster. Boster try the three, just a little bit short, but Hoyt will come down with it. He is poked away from him, and coming down with it is going to be Hansen, number 13. Hansen looking for an open man, and he does find him, that being Killing, and it's off of his foot. Well, let's see what they're going to call. They're going to call a foul on Ward, it looks like. So that's kind of a surprise as the ball dribbles its way all the way down to the cheerleading section, and then the young girl will put it back in. Also give it over to the officials, and this will be a side out here. So Justin Ward with his third foul, and that's not too bad. I mean, we're down to the last period. He's got 2 left as Moses tries to drive the lane, and he is going to get hacked by one of the Moline players. Travis Hoyt with his second foul.
Kevin Moses shooting 2.
First one is good. As Hickey comes in replacing Hoyt. They lose a little bit of height, but shooting no problem at all as Moses makes his second one. And so the score now 38-25 with 7:12 left here in the fourth period. Well, the scoring hasn't been real high, but the action has been hot and heavy in this one. As it goes to Scannell, back over to Boster. Boster to Hickey, back to Scannell. Ward with about a 15-footer. It's going to be a whole kinds of short. And foul underneath. It'll be Maroon's ball. As Hammond picks up a foul. I think that's his first foul for Tim Hammond. And Bosser with a quick up and the small one going down in there, and I don't mean that to be anything but he's just a good player as he's very aggressive, got down in there and scores and gets fouled in the same time. So he'll go to the line shooting one. And it's good. 3-point play for Mr. Boster. The extender lead 41-25 now. Stolen by Scannell. Scannell up and in and out. Ward trying to get down in there, and he might be, he might have been fouled by number 25, that being Killing. And so he'll go, well, let's see. Wasn't a shooting foul, so he'll just take it out of bounds. Well, Nagel comes back in, and out goes Killing. Only the 4th team foul by the West, so as far as fouls go, they've done a very nice job. Out to Burke. Burke over Scannell as they start to work the ball a little bit. And we're going to have a timeout called here by the Maroons. 30-second timeout. We'll take another short break too. 5, 4. Well, we're back in again. 6:36 left remaining on the clock with the Maroons leading at 41-25. And they also have the ball as it goes from Scannell to Burke. Or check to Hickey to Burke, and comes to Ward. He tries to drive to the inside, skips it back out to Scannell. And he'll set him up once again. Boster with the ball. Back to Scannell. Back over to Boster. He'll give it over to Hickey. Hickey back to Boster. Over to Scannell. As they work the ball very judiciously here. They got a lot of time. And want to take some time off the clock. And we'll look for the best shot they possibly can. It goes over to Burke. Over skips back to Boster. Boster just inside the 3-point line. And he banks it in. So Eric Boster with another 2. Robinson tries to get it up court. It'll come to Nagel. And Nagel gets it over the timeline. With 5:46 left here in the 4th period, he gets it over to Hansen. Hansen to, well, try to get it to Robinson, but just too soft a pass. And Hickey picks it off. He gives it over to Boster, back to Hickey. And he skips past it down to Ward. Ward looks back to Scannell as they come out to the top, or to the point here, over to Boster. He looks over to Ward, check that to Burke, into Ward, and Ward up and in. Well, Nagel now brings it up for the Falcons, and they're in a world of hurt now. They're down by 20 with 5:09 left. He does a nice little spin move over to Hansen. Hansen down into Moses. Moses up and in. (45-27). 18-point lead for the Maroons as they get it off the timeline. Scannell looks back over to Boster. And he's back over to Scannell. They look down inside to Hickey. Hickey tries about a 15-footer, and he puts her right through. Well, 4:31 left to go, and the West squad just wants to do this to keep their confidence going into the season. Nice look inside to Moses up and it's hit away from Ward. And he skips it down to Hickey. Hickey up, almost the alley-oop try, but didn't quite work out. Comes out to Robinson. Robinson pushes it down deep into the paint. Fakes once, tried to get it to Moses, couldn't get it. Now they're skipping past it up to Hickey. Hickey up, and tried to slam a jamma. Couldn't get her down. First slam a jamma try of the day, and he's a little disappointed in himself, as he thought for sure that he should have got that one down. Nagel skips it into Moses. Moses inside with a back consent. He tried again and up and in. So Moses trying awfully hard. Hickey still mad at himself for not putting that one down. So full timeout again by the Maroons. And we'll take another break. Be back with you. Boster gets it out. Brent Anderson coming in for Moline. number 14. It comes over to Boster. Boster back over to Scannell. Back to Boster as they play a little pass and catch here. Trying to take some time off of that clock. That gets over to Anderson, and Anderson to Burke. Burke to Anderson. Over to Hoyt, into Boster. Boster is going to be hacked as he's on his way in, it looks like, by Scoville. So he'll go to the line, shooting 2. Scoville with his 3rd personal foul, and hasn't had the kind of game that I think he probably wished he would have had, as Boster makes the front end of the 2 shots. And coming in now for Moses is Blevins. And the second one goes in as well. And so the lead now 20 points again with 3:13 left. As Nagel brings it up. Goes over to the right side, doesn't see anything, didn't see anybody open. Still doesn't have anybody open, kind of just shuffles it off to Blevins. And Blevins gets into the corner. Now it's Nagel. They're pinched in. Robinson underneath, and he steps on the line. Oh, check that. There's a foul underneath. It looks like by Hoyt, possibly. Number 44. That's his 3rd foul, and Scannell comes off with a round of applause by the people here. He's had a fine game once again. And it's going to be short by Blevins, and it comes out to the Maroons as Boster brings it across the timeline very quickly. Hands it off there to Anderson, and Anderson bounces it off of his foot, it looks like, and goes out of bounds. Kurt Hansen coming in for Travis Hoyt. Travis Hoyt having a fine game also. Well, Nagel with the ball as he skips it down to Robinson into the paint, but he's going to lose it. Well, check that they're going to call a foul on someone. Foul on the lane, number 14, Brent Anderson is first. As wholesale changes are being made now by the Maroons as Etheridge comes in. And Boster with a heck of a game. Gets the biggest hand of all. Moses in there. Robinson tries a shot from about 12. That's not going to be any good, and brought down by Etheridge. And he gives it off to Finch. Finch brings it over the timeline, and that'll be poke checked away there by number 31, Moses. No, check that. I guess he didn't get a hand on it at all. It was just thrown away. So Scoville brings it in to Nagel. Nagel over the timeline. He's being guarded there very closely by Finch. And the Falcons are going to, well, turn it over again. Back over to Finch as he brings it over. Tries to skip down and low, and ooh, he'll be hammered there. As it looks like Burke was trying to get the shot in, and he's hit hard by Robinson. He'll go to the line shooting 2. 1:54 left with the Maroons leading it 49-29 over the Davenport West Falcons. So David Burke goes to the line once again. First one is made, one more coming up. And the second one is up, and that is good as well. So the extender lead now 51-29. And Chenoweth comes in now replacing David Burke. So it comes over, the Falcons looking for anybody to get open. Moses with the ball at the top of the key. He drives in, and he'll be fouled there, it looks like, with a hand check by Etheridge.
Foul on number 12, Stephen Etheridge, his first, only sixth team foul.
Well, the horn blew, but I don't see anybody coming in, so apparently it was just for the officials. As they'll bring it out, Nagel looks for an open man, and a whistle blows here, and we got a foul called. It looks like Anderson.
Foul on number 14, Brent Anderson, his second. That puts West in the bonus.
Brent Anderson with a foul, and it finally puts West into the bonus here with 1:42 left in the fourth period. And a lot of jumping up and down. Ooh, poked away and saved by Anderson, and now saved by Finch. So nice hustle by Anderson, but picked off by Moses. He tries to pass it off, and he'll be fouled by Finch.
Foul on number 4, Christian Finch, his first. Kevin Moses shooting 1 in the bonus.
Kevin Moses will be shooting 1 and 1. And the first one's in and out, and we're going to have a tie up there, and it'll go to the Maroons as the possession arrow points towards them. So with 1:30 left, 51-29 in favor of the Maroons as they try to get the ball in, and comes into Etheridge. He looks over to Anderson. Anderson to Finch, and he's being hounded by Nagel as they try to move the ball and take some time off of that board as Anderson tries an alley-oop under his waist shot, or whatever you want to call it, and it comes into the big number 54 Hansen. He'll miss it, and it comes away with Robinson. Robinson dives down in low and all by his low. Nice pump fake there by Hammond, and he's hacked as he goes up. Number 12, Stephen Etheridge with the foul, and going to the line is going to be Hammond. 1 minute exactly left in this game, the final game of the Illinois-Iowa shootout, or the Iowa-Illinois shootout. And we've had a whole lot of fun doing this thing all day long. You'll see it on separate nights, of course, but we've certainly enjoyed you tuning in with Family Ties Productions with all of our broadcasts that we have. We're looking for so many things that are going to be coming on board as this season grows in 2001. So just stay tuned and watch what happens as we grow along with you. Any comments or suggestions, please call in to 322-8373. We appreciate them. And let us know as the clock runs down with 42 seconds left. Lead now 53-30. And this one's pretty much in the bag, and some more hammering going on. Another foul as bodies are flying around all over. Nagel looks like he might have turned an ankle on that one. And I think he'll be coming off the game. And Rapp comes in along with Bruce. And it's missed on the open end one, but it's picked up by Finch, and Finch brings it down with 30 seconds left over to Chenoweth. Chenoweth, whoop, and Anderson goes down hard. He'll be picked up by one of the West players. And I'm not exactly sure who fouled it, but somebody did get a foul in on that one as more substitutions come in. So Welford comes in, Matt Welford, for the first time in this game with 25 seconds left in this one. Tipped away, but Anderson recovers it. Oh, check that. Etheridge recovers it and puts it up and in. So Etheridge with his first 2 points. As coming off, Welford with the ball, and he tries to drive it in, but he'll be, that one grabbed, and still the Falcons' ball comes down to number 41. He'll take a pop shot, and that's no good. And that was Sodawasser with the shot. And 3.4 seconds, and this one's going to be all over. So it's 3.4, and all they have to do is just kind of sit on it, and he'll take a shot as it is Finch, but that'll do it. With the final score being The Moline Maroons 55, the West Falcons 32. Our internet revealed most valuable players of the games, I should say. This one might surprise you. For the Moline, I think this young man came in and he was really the spark plug all day long. And I'm going to give it to Eric Boster, number 5. For the West side, it's going to go to number 31. He just had a good day shooting, Kevin Moses. And that'll do it here. We've had a lot of fun all day long. I hope you've enjoyed all 5 games. We've had some cruisers. This one kind of got a wave on them. A little final score being 55-32 with the Maroons coming away the winners. We'll see you again on Family Ties Productions. This is Jim Sainsbury one more time. So long.
Coach, man, check that blood pressure, you know. It's heating up in here right now. What a basketball game.
Well, we're under 2 minutes, 1:49. It's a 2-point game. Wilson at the line trying to extend that out. Fans are certainly getting their money's worth tonight.
Yes, they are. All 4,000, 4,500 of them. Nobody's leaving to go home. Wilson hits the first free throw. 3-point Maroon lead, 41-38. Wilson's up to 20 points now. And with still the same 2 fouls that he picked up fairly early there in the first half. Boom. 4-point lead. Well, Quincy hits a 3, and Moline comes back, makes 2 free throws.
Douglas, 3. Count it.
Oh, my.
That's a lot of offense in a hurry.
Well, Moline inbounds the ball. DeVilder controls across to Travis Wilson. Across the 10-second line. Touch pass out to Cottrell.
Get out of the corner, Steve.
He calls timeout. Good call. Wow. When Quincy saw Cottrell in that corner, Coach, they were on him.
That was like wolves after the lamb over there.
Oh, my gosh. Woo. Hey, I think we better take a break, Coach, to catch our breath here. It's 42-41. Moline leads and has possession of the ball. 1:24 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. Moline will take possession of the ball. We'll see how far in that corner the officials will go, because we know that Moline was deep in the corner at the time the timeout was called. The crowd's making a lot of noise right now.
Well, they're behind their Maroons.
And the ball will be inbounds from the sideline over there. Watch a back pick here and a lob to the goal. Back pick, lob to the goal. You never know. They get the ball inbounds. Wilson has the ball out front. 1:20 to go. Fourth quarter. Moline leads by 1.
What, are we shooting layups and free throws now?
No, I don't think so. Not yet. Not yet. But I don't think Quincy's going to let him hold it long enough to find all that out, because they'll foul eventually. DeVilder in and out. Tip in.
Big tip. That was either Hanover or DeVilder. We'll give it to DeVilder.
DeVilder, tip in, his 14th point of the ball game.
Well, they've got the 3-point shooters.
That's
they got
right.
Springer. They've gone man-to-man, boxing one, whatever you want to call it. Shot goes up, out of bounds. It's going to go back to Quincy.
Quincy's ball was a good move by Coach Dexter also, because that's a man-to-man defense to identify the 3-point shooters. But of course, Quincy will have a play of some kind to get them open.
They had Douglas had somebody in his face, and Kelly had Springer all over
They're
him.
going to have to go with a pick or a double pick, and they can do that off this inbounds play pretty easily. Now, there's only 3 fouls against Moline, so Moline can foul if the situation gets there without putting them in the line yet. So with 44 seconds to go, you might see that strategy in here somewhere.
3-point Moline lead. Again, we've got water on the floor.
Yeah. I've got a hunch it's not coming from the ceiling.
No, Morton Fieldhouse is plenty warm tonight with all these people in here, a lot of yelling. You can hear the crowd in the background. Everybody's on their feet. In the student section.
That's right. They better make a lot of noise now, Coach. The Moline faithful should be up and cheering at this point.
Here we go. Corey Douglas on the trigger.
Here's your double pick.
Kelly for 3.
Long.
No, too strong. Gets his own rebound. Puts up a 14-footer, won't go. Rivas rebound up and good.
Nice rebound that time. Back to a 1-point ball game. 44-43. The ball into DeVilder. Head to Springer. They're looking to foul Springer, don't get the call. DeVilder gets the ball crossed, and a foul call there.
Ryan Kelly, reach in. Kelly says he traveled first. Ref says, I don't think so.
Yeah. But they're going to shoot 2 free throws now in the super bonus. Nick DeVilder's going to go to the line.
DeVilder 1 of 2 from the line his last trip. Big free throws coming here. 25.6 seconds on the clock. Possession arrow to Quincy. That might be a factor down the road.
Quincy has one more timeout available to them. So with the lead to Moline, Quincy still has some things going for him here in the last, like you say, 26 seconds. DeVilder, first one on its way, strong. Off the back iron, sub coming in for Quincy.
Kevin Douglas checking in. Ryan Hintz to go out. Hintz.
No big free throw here now for DeVilder. We got Travis Wilson and Ian Hanovan on the blocks in there, though, so they've got an opportunity for an offensive board. They've done a nice job already. Got to keep them off, but no chance. DeVilder buries it. 45-43.
Moline with the pressure. Wilson reaches in. There's that extra foul. We had fouls to give. That's only 4 on Moline now. 3 on Wilson.
They can go 2 more, but you don't want Wilson doing both of them.
Well, what did we burn there? About 4 seconds.
Yep. Officials done a beautiful job in this ball game, Coach. This has been, the kids have been able to play. They've kept control. Okay. Moline maybe looked to foul again.
Quickly up the floor.
And they did. Oh, they got a foul. Don't call timeout. They're going to get a foul out.
Going to be on Spranger or Cottrell. They were both there, but I think Spranger got him first.
Foul first. No timeout. They don't want a timeout now. But they're going to. Moline wants a timeout. Oh, Moline called timeout. Moline called timeout. Somebody asked for a timeout. Any player can ask, and the officials called a timeout against Moline now.
Folks, if you're watching this at home and happen to be taping it, run that back.
Yeah.
It was a Quincy player that signaled for a timeout.
There's no question about that, but here's the situation. Foul occurred before the timeout was called. Okay? Somebody from Moline asked the official for a timeout after that fact took place. Now, maybe as an official, I call the foul, then give him the timeout because he asked for it. But as soon as the foul is called, it becomes a dead ball, and maybe it took that away. I don't know. But he did. I don't think he made a mistake in pointing the wrong way. Somebody from Moline asked for a timeout.
Well, which might be to Moline's advantage. It gives Coach Dexter a chance to say, hey, here's the situation. Right. We've got a foul to give. There's 18 seconds left.
And the only bad news is that if Quincy were to score, Moline is going to have to not only have their defense set, but have the offense set going back the other way.
Right.
So, we'll see if that makes a difference in the ball game or not. We hope not.
Because Moline's out of timeouts.
Moline does not have a timeout left. Quincy's got 2. Still a foul to give, though. Oh, wide open. There comes a foul. Oh, no foul. Stole the ball. Now Quincy's got a foul. And there's the foul. Oh, wow.
Foul called. Foul called. Ryan Kelly.
Yep. Oh, now you got to keep those students off the floor down there.
That was on Douglas. That's his 5th. That'll put him out of the ball game.
That hurts. It also buys Moline a little time to kind of talk to the kids about what they might want to do here.
It's going to put Nick DeVilder, I believe. Yeah, he's on the line. He'll shoot 2.
Moline still has a foul to give, Coach, with 12 seconds to go. I'd make sure I'd use that somewhere before a guy could find a shot.
Coach Dexter down here talking to Kenny Spranger, giving him some direction.
Yep. And Coach Wallace is using this full 30 seconds to get a sub in the ball game. Calm everybody down. Also has a tendency to ice your shooter if that's ever going to work. I'm never sure that's any reason why anybody misses a free throw. But
Ryan Hintz comes back into the ball game. Now he'll take a timeout.
Yep. And he gets one. DeVilder will be at the free throw line. We come back with 12 seconds to go. Let's stay right here. No sense going anywhere, Coach.
Well, these are obviously big free throws coming here.
Yeah, big free throws coming here.
And DeVilder struggled a little bit from the line tonight. He's 2 of 4 right now.
Yep. Well, with the 3-point shooters that Quincy's got, Nick needs to make 1. needs to make one. He makes two. Moline's going to crown a champion here.
You know, and this is a situation where you're in the huddle with your boys and you're the coach and you say, now after Nick makes these free throws, here's what we're going to do.
That's right.
You make that a given. You don't talk to Nick about making free throws in this situation.
That's a given. You're exactly right. And this is one of the reasons this super bonus is in the ball game. Really,
right.
There's not as much pressure on this first free throw for Nick DeVilder as there would be if we're still in the 1-on-1. So he's got two chances to make one, and I've got a real good feeling right now. Quincy's setting something up here because they're going to need, in their mind at least, they got one timeout left. They're going to need a 3-point play or a 4-point play.
You know, DeVilder makes his free throws. They've really got to hustle the ball down the floor and get a shot off quickly.
You betcha.
They don't have time to run much offense because it's going to be a two-possession game.
Well, and on the way down
there's a foul to give.
That's right. Moline's going to foul you. Just don't foul him when he shoots it. That's all.
So it's a tough spot for Quincy, and it all is going to come down to these free throws.
Boom. Dead center, perfect. That's what you want your senior to do. Step in there and lead that team to a championship. DeVilder buries a free throw, 46-43. Moline leads. Let's put it away. DeVilder. Bang! 4-point lead.
We got a sub coming. Marcus Morrow coming in for Cottrell, I believe. They want to get all the quickness they can get on the floor right now.
Yeah.
Morrow's created a few turnovers himself tonight just with his quick hands. Here comes the substitution. We're making sure referees are doing a good job of making sure everything's right like it should be.
Yep.
Ball will be out of bounds under Moline's basket.
Right. I guess the question I have, how much time was on that clock? Wasn't it 12-2?
Yeah, they're putting it back up.
We went to 11-6, so we need to go back. We're going to be back to 12-0 right now.
They inbounded the ball and started the clock before. There was so much noise they couldn't hear the horn blow.
There's a foul. Okay.
Foul on to Cottrell.
Yeah, Cottrell's going to pick up that foul. 9.8 seconds to go. Out of bounds.
Here comes Quincy's last timeout now. Or did they already use it?
Coach, they need to save a timeout. They got to save the timeout
for after their basket?
For after the basket. They definitely don't want to call a timeout now.
I thought I saw Coach Wallace signal timeout.
Yeah, if he did, he would have think more. He got to go with the ball, son.
Here we go. Now Moline's just going to have to play defense.
And they timeout. Start yelling it now. Won't go, Moline.
Ball's loose. Douglas in the corner fires up a three. He's fouled on the floor. It's going to be a 1-and-1. That foul's going to be on Travis Wilson. I think he was pointing out. Let's see here.
Alive. 0.8 to go, Coach.
Yeah.
He was definitely fouled on that line.
That'll put Douglas on the line.
Well, the crowd's going to come to their feet now, Coach. We've got 0.8 of a second to go. Quincy's got 1-and-1. Now, Moline really needs to keep the kids off the floor down at that other end. It's very critical.
Well, they'll be all over the floor as soon as this game's over, I guarantee
That's what you want. As soon as the game is over.
Yeah.
That's the critical phrase.
We've got Kevin Douglas, at the line. He's 2 points on the night. They don't pay him to score, I don't think, though.
Well, he made that one.
He throws up and good. And here's Quincy's final timeout. 3-point lead for Moline. 0.8 of a second remain.
Okay, I'm going to go with a play here, Coach.
Are we going to miss the free throw on purpose? Tip it out and shoot the three.
That's what we're going to do. If you can do that in 0.8 of a second, you deserve to tie a ball game up. But you got to do it.
What choice do you have?
There's another choice. We got to find 14 because he's going to be the guy they're going to want to get that ball to.
And Coach Dex has got them all standing up. They're huddled around their clipboard up there.
We're obviously not the only ones that thought of that.
And we're two schmoes up here watching the game.
Way up here watching the game.
Way up here.
Sweating like a mug.
But what an exciting game this has been.
Oh, man.
Moline led all the way, dictated first half action, led by 13 at the half, 25-12. Quincy comes back, great run, 17-6. Outscored the Maroons in the third quarter, got themselves right back in the ball game. It's got as close as 2 points, and the Maroons have answered every time.
Yeah, and Quincy had it down at least one time to a 2-point difference and had the ball. But I think that's the only opportunity they had to do that, and they didn't convert.
Well, here we go, folks. Why don't we just shut up and let you watch it?
That's right. You're going to know one way or the other. We don't have to say a word.
That'll do it. And that'll do it.
There's the ball game.
1997 Western Big Six champ, Moline Maroons. Look at that student body out there. Are they excited? First championship here in Moline since Nick DeViller's dad, Jack DeViller, was the head coach here at Moline High School.
Man, I'll tell you what, that's fun. Take a look at that. Enjoy that.
Coach Dexter just kind of standing off to the side down here. He's excited. It's hard to come out of your coaching face and get excited after a game sometimes. But
well, I tell you the big thing, and congratulations to the coaching staff from Moline. A great job. And I tell you, we had, going into the year, they had high expectations for this ball club. Opened the year up 0-4, and it'd have been easy for lots of people to fold the tents and chalk it off. The team could have fought among themselves. The coaches could have done this, that, and everything else. But they made some really great adjustments defensively, and they got everybody healthy, and it's been history, folks. Nick DeVilder's being carried off the court.
Oh, that's terrific. Nick DeVilder, as we mentioned, his dad, Jack, former head coach here, now assistant principal here at Moline High School. Coach Dexter has got to be very proud, and has his assistants too. We shouldn't overlook them. Derek Lindauer and Kelly Kane they go to every practice and they work just as hard, and they've obviously done a great job with these young men.
Well, it's a fine way to culminate our coverage of Western Big Six basketball during the regular season. We certainly are planning on covering some more basketball games next week and the weeks to follow. But wow, this is fun. This is exciting. And this is what it's all about. You come down to the last ball game of the year in the Western Big Six. Two teams tied with 7-2 records. They play right here, and bang, 47-44, Moline Maroons.
And as you might expect, Travis Wilson, Nick DeVilder, the big two in the scoring column. Wilson with 21 points on the night, and DeVilder with 17 lead the way. They got 38 of the 47, but not to take anything away from the rest of the young Maroon players. They all played hard.
Well, I think you've got to talk about those guys too, Coach, along the way. Marcus Morrow, he's made a big difference. We talked about him. He's not starting right now, but he had some great games. He allowed them to beat UT at a ball game over at UT that we covered. Right. Without him, this game would have just meant the conference was going to be a tie. Because in my mind, they couldn't have beaten UT that night without the game that Marcus had. You take a look at Kenny Spranger. Kenny is Mr. Consistent, I think, out there. He handles the ball, he rebounds, doesn't score a lot of points, but does a great job. Of course, Ian Hanovan, tremendous on the boards. Had some games where he's been their leading scorer. Obviously, all three of their scorers have been in there together. Dorian Earl last week against Alleman comes in, has a great game. Tonight he contributed great minutes.
Some good minutes here lately.
Steve Cottrell, he stood in there and took about, probably over the course of the year, he probably took about 75 charges. I don't know how many times he actually got called, but he stuck his face in there and got blasted around. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention Tom Dyke, of course, because Tom has played quite a bit throughout the course of this season, has contributed. And, of course, the rest of the supporting cast from Moline Maroons have just done a tremendous job. Obviously, some of these kids who didn't get in the game tonight worked hard this week getting Moline prepared to go against that press that they saw reading in the paper. They're talking about 6 guys on 5. These guys, obviously, in their practice ethic, put themselves in a situation where they can make this team better week after week after week. Our hats go off to all the Moline Maroons and their fans.
Well, that about does it here from Wharton Fieldhouse. Again, the Maroons, the Western Big Six champs for the 1996-97 season. Exciting ball game. Maroons by 3 over the Quincy Blue Devils, 47-44. For Jim Sanders, This is Jim Smith and Greg Quinones, our cameraman extraordinaire, have been done a great job for us all season. We'll say so long from Wharton Fieldhouse, and we'll see you next time for Family Ties production here on TCI Channel 38. So long, everybody.